Welcome to the Diligent Minds Podcast. I'm your host, Dorian Jones. I make personal development easy so that you can achieve your goals, do all the things you put your mind to, give you motivation, and so much more. It's time for you to step up, do the work, and become the best version of yourself. Let's go ahead, dive right into the show. What's going on, Diligent Minds community? Happy Monday to you if you listen to this when it comes out, or happy Thursday if you're watching this on YouTube on the day that it comes out. I like to say welcome to all my new listeners. I truly appreciate you for joining me. Out of all the options that you had, you decided to check me out. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed the show. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And everyone listening to this on Apple Podcasts, leave a rating and review. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button as well if you want that information to help you become better, because that's what the show is all about. To help you become a better version of yourself so that you can achieve your goals, do all the things you put your mind to, all that good stuff. You like that? Hit that subscribe button. No huge announcements this week. I just want to tell you to check out all the links down below. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. And also subscribe wherever you're listening to this right now. Reach out to me on IG or schedule your free call for the coaching program. No obligations, no strings attached, nothing to it. Let's see if it's a right fit for you. See if we can help you get to that next level in 2024, because we all know we want to hit different levels of our lives. We want to hit different tiers and continue to level ourselves up, become better, get more out of ourselves. Not just out of our life as far as the material things, not as far as anything tangible, but within where we feel that growth. And that's what we help you with. So check out that link down below. Schedule your free call. Like I said, no obligations, no payments needed or anything. Just a free coaching call just to see if it's something that works for you and where you want to go in your life. All right, let's go ahead and dive into today's show. Today, we're talking about how can you become a better communicator? Because communicating with people is something that's really hard for some. They find it so frightening. They find it to be so difficult for them to communicate things that they want, or just to express themselves in general. So we're going to talk about how can you personally become a better communicator with people in your life, whether it's immediate, whether it's extended, whatever it is. You can use these tools and tactics to help you communicate better across the board. So let's go ahead and get right into the show. When we think about great relationships, they all built on loyalty, love, respect, and good communication. Being able to communicate with somebody allows you to develop a great relationship. You think about some of your closest friends, some people that you speak with on a regular. You talk to them because you can communicate to them, and that goes with understanding. That goes with them respecting your boundaries, them respecting your opinions, and vice versa. So when we think about communication, it carries so much weight in our life. It carries so much weight within our relationships and how we carry ourselves and who we communicate with in general. In order to not just be a great communicator, but an effective communicator, you must understand that everybody is entitled to their own opinion. And you can either accept that or let it go, but it's true. Everyone don't need to feel the exact same way as you do about a situation, even if the evidence is there, even if it's something obvious, but they just say, hey, no, this is what I see. You don't know where they're coming from their point of view. You don't know what experiences they've had. You don't know what may drive their opinion, or maybe they're just messing with you. You just don't know, but just accept it. When you don't learn to accept things, you try to persuade people to think the way that you do, it becomes frustrating. It becomes more stressful. It may put a strain on a relationship. But if you're talking to someone and you both understand that I'm going to respect your opinion, even though I don't agree with it, and they do the same, that's going to make the communication that much better and that much easier. And just because you're not seeing things the way that they see it, it doesn't make either of you right or wrong. You have to learn to agree to disagree. There may be times where you just try to persuade someone to think the way that you want to think. You kept on arguing with them, going back and forth, and like, no, you don't understand why this is happening. You don't understand this. You don't understand that. And they may be saying the same thing to you. In order for you not to waste your energy, continue to waste your time just going back and forth with someone who just won't see things the way that you do, you must find yourself coming to some type of agreement and just agreeing to disagree, and understand that that's okay. Just because you don't agree on everything every single time, it does not make you a bad person. It does not make you feel like they're wrong or like they're better or they're less than you. That's not the case at all. That's like when you hear someone talking about a debate, talking about who's the greatest, who did better, who's this, who's that. and you hear them talking about, no, Jordan is better than Kobe. Kobe is better than Jordan. LeBron is better than both. That's that person's opinion. You cannot dictate how they feel. Just agree to disagree. Like, okay, I understand where you're coming from. I respect your opinion. A lot of it comes from respect. If you respect someone's opinion, then it'll be easy to communicate with them. If you don't, if it's someone that you already don't like, is someone where you like, they just irk my nerves or something like that, then it's going to be hard to find effective ways to communicate with that person. And if you listen to me for a while, you heard me say this before. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen more than you talk. Before you even go ahead and say anything, just go ahead and listen first. Let this person get their thing out. Don't try to interrupt them. Even if it's something where you're like, you know what? I found an error in what you're saying and I want to correct it right now. I get it. Usually like, you know what? I want to correct them right now. Let me tell you, like, let me cut you off. Like, no, just let them finish. Go ahead and continue. Let them elaborate on what they're saying. And then you chime in at the end. Don't react right away. Just give it a moment. Let it chill. Let it settle. And then you react to it. Always make sure that you listen more than you talk if you want to become a better communicator. People will want to come to you. People will want to talk to you just because you listening. Just because you listen and allow them to get their expressions out, allow them to get their thoughts out. That's going to already make you a better communicator just because you listening. Because everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants to feel like they're understood. And just because you listen and allow them to express how they feel, when in reality, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people cut people off or they want to make it about themselves. Just go ahead and just listen sometimes. Listen, allow them to elaborate, allow them to communicate the way that they communicate. It doesn't have to be aligned with what you agree with. It doesn't have to be aligned with how you'll express yourself. And just because they're saying that, again, it does not make them right or wrong. Just go ahead, sit there and listen, absorb, and then analyze, and then you give a response. And after you hear them out, just pause for a moment. Think, make sure that they got everything out, and then you react to it, and then you respond to it. Not everything is worth a response. Sometimes things are just rhetorical, meaning that it does not require a response. Maybe they just want to get it off their chest and move on to the next subject. So don't always go for a reaction. Don't always go for a response because sometimes that's not even needed. Sometimes it's just an ear that's needed. Sometimes they just need to get it off their mind, get it off their chest so that they don't think they're crazy. Because I know that there's times where I personally just need to hear myself out, where I just need to vent in a way. You just sit there, you just need someone to listen. Just go ahead and get out all your frustrations, all your problems, all the things you're thinking about. And it may be something that's bothering you, but it may not be that big of a problem and you don't realize it until you just hearing yourself out. You're like, hold on, it's not even that much of a problem. Why am I complaining? Why am I continuing to go on about this? So allow people to do that to you. If it's someone that you rock with, if it's somebody that you cool with, you're like, all right, you go ahead. You can call me anytime. Like I'm a listening ear, whether you want my opinion or you just want me to listen. Just let me know. One thing that I have is an open line of communication with people. I tell them, if you have something to say, just come and say it to me and let me know. Do you need me to be an ear or do you need my opinion? So that way I know how I'm going to address this before we even get into the conversation, before they even begin to speak. This allows me to set up expectations and set up boundaries as well, to know what boundary am I going to pass, what line am I going to pass, or what am I allowed to pass in this situation. And when you do respond to someone, when you do communicate something to them, always say what you mean and mean what you say. And that's why it's so important for you to pause, just take a moment, relax, think about your response, how you're going to communicate it, what tone are you going to get across? Are you going to be aggressive or are you going to be relaxed to let them know like, no, this is not a hostile situation. This is something where I just want to communicate with you. I want you to know how I feel. I want you to know where I'm coming from. And I want this to be a smooth, easy going conversation. Or do you want to be aggressive? Do you want to come off as that? That's why it's important to be aware of your tones and how you respond, the words that you use, your body expression, your facial expressions. All of these things go with communicating. A lot of times our body expressions and our tones say much more than our words. Because I always tell people it's not about what you say to me, it's how you say it. If you want something out of me, it's all about how you ask me to do it. If you want me to do something, don't tell me or demand me to do it because I'm so rebellious. I'm going to just do the opposite of what you're telling me. I'm going to just sit there and do what I want to do just because you feel like you telling me what to do. You talking at me. You're not talking to me. I don't know if any of you like that too, where you're like, hold on, don't talk to me like I'm a kid, for one. Like, hold on, you better calm down, slow your roll, and correct yourself because I'm an adult. I'm a grown person, so you're going to talk to me as such. And that's how I am. I've been like that my whole life. Even as a kid, even as a teenager, I came off as like having a smart mouth. I'm like, nah, I just don't like to be talked to in a certain sense, in a certain manner, because I'm not stupid. I'm not someone where you have to break things down super thoroughly for me to understand. Like, I can just kind of pick up things that you're putting down most of the time. And if I have a question, then I'll ask you that. And that's why it's so important for you to clearly communicate the things that you want, the things that you expect out of people. Clearly communicate those things. Because some people say one thing, but they mean something else. Or they say something and say, you know what I mean? And sometimes people really don't know. So you have to make sure that you communicate properly and ask people, do you understand what I'm saying? And if they don't, go ahead and elaborate a little bit more. Or don't just assume that they don't know what you're saying. And then you go ahead and elaborate and offend some people. A big part of communicating is setting boundaries. Setting boundaries so that people can know this is the line that you don't cross with me. This is the line where things get cut off. Because if you never set boundaries, then people won't know how far they can go with you. People won't know what things bother you, what things do they need to be careful with when communicating with you. If you have any boundaries in your life, which you should have some type of boundaries in your life. We talked about this on another episode where you set boundaries for people in your life because the people that are most comfortable with you, they feel like there's no boundaries. They feel like they can overstep some things. They feel like they can little tiptoe over it. But you got to stand on it. What is it? You got to stand on business. You got to be standing on that business. So set your boundaries. Set your boundaries and stick to them. So that way people know that they can't approach you with just any BS. They know they can't just come to you any type of way. You got to have a backbone. You got to stand on yourself and be able to communicate that to those around you, those close to you, because those are the ones that is hardest to set our boundaries with because we're comfortable with them. And maybe it's new things that we discover we need boundaries with in our life. And sometimes it makes people uncomfortable. They just don't have to be uncomfortable. It is what it is. But if you communicate to them, like, these are my new boundaries, I can't do X, Y, and Z anymore, like that's the end of it, then they don't respect it. If they don't respect it, then that means that they've been using you. They've been utilizing you not having boundaries in the past. When you're speaking to people, especially about somebody else's business or something else going on with them, speak from facts and experience, not speculation, not rumors. Don't come to them, oh, I heard this, I heard that. Like, no, I don't give a damn what you heard. Like, no, come and ask me about it. Come and speak to me. Because once a story goes through multiple loops of people, that story is going to get twisted. That story is going to get tangled up. And people going to add their own things onto it. And then they're going to add like, well, you know, this was happening. You know, this was going on. No, talk to the source directly. When you communicate with someone, when you want to get something out of somebody, make sure that you communicate with the person directly. Don't go through everybody else. Don't go through what you heard in the streets. Don't go by what your friends told you or what you heard in the group chat. None of that matters. Talk to the person directly, especially if it's somebody that you're close to, especially if it's someone that you respect and you've always had a relationship with. Many relationships get messed up based on bad communication, words coming from other people, and then it get back to them. They say, I heard you said this about me, or so-and-so talked about you. They were saying this and that. Like, hold on, like, why are they talking about me behind my back when they have my phone number? They can just make a phone call. So never go after someone with just speculation or things that you've heard. Learn to speak from things that you know firsthand, or learn to keep it to yourself. Don't go out gossiping, talking to everyone, because that's how you build bad relationships. That's how you develop a bad reputation. And people don't want to talk to you. People don't want to communicate with you. People don't want to be associated with you, and your word won't be good. So when you do go and communicate to someone else, even though you're talking about somebody else, they're going to remember, oh, they talking to me about so-and-so. So what are they going to say when they go around somebody else about me? So they're going to be careful with you. And also be careful about people who you have in your circle who do those things. People who are just talking about rumors, people who speculating and just talking about other people's business. What that person do does not have anything to do with who you are. Do with what you have going on in your life. They in their own vehicle. You driving your own as well. You can choose to go a different direction if whatever they going to does not align with you. You got to make sure that you remember this and implement it into your life. Overall, you must choose your battles wisely when communicating with people. Not everything deserves a response. Because there's going to be some people that's just drama prone. They just like drama. And they're going to try to bring that to you. And that may not be what you want in your life. You may be trying to avoid that. But then some people may tick you off. Stay away from these people. Because that's what they absorb on. That's what they drive off of. That's what gives them fire. That's what drives their ego. Not everything deserves a response. We don't have to respond to everything, especially if it's not true, especially if it's somebody who you're talking to where you feel like they won't change their mind no matter what. Why would I continue to sit there and go back and forth and waste that energy with that person? So learn to choose your battles wisely when you're communicating with people, because communicating with others, whether the people are close to us or not, that energy is transferred to us. So be mindful about who you communicate with and what you communicate with them about. So that wraps it up for today's episode. I want you to be mindful about who you're communicating with and how you're communicating, and how can you become a better communicator yourself? Can you implement some of these things? Do you need to have more patience? Do you need to set those boundaries? What is it for you that needs to change in order for you to communicate better if you're not a great communicator already? So don't forget to check out all the links down below. Make sure that you hit me up on IG. Hit that subscribe button if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts, you're checking out on YouTube, and leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Go ahead and enjoy your day. And remember, everybody has greatness within, even you.